Hello, good morning. Today, I wanted to just do another little day in my life kind of video, you know? A little spend the day with me kind of vibe. It is early in the morning. I've got a class at 9, so we're heading out for that right now. I gotta put shoes on. But today is Wednesday. It's a pretty chill day. I've got 2 classes and I am starting to work on my stuff for the writer's retreat, which if you haven't heard of, I'll link it up there. But I am running a writer's retreat this winter and the prep starts this month, October. So I'm getting started on mine today, pretty much. And actually, before I leave here, I'll make it quick, I wanted to talk about what my goals are for the retreat, because they have changed from when I talked about my goals earlier this year, like last month. Let me give you a little backstory. I originally was going to do Project Glass for the retreat. I was going to try and revise, rework, and start drafting. I didn't want to finish draft for the retreat, but I wanted to at least start drafting. But that was the goal, Project Glass. And before that, shoes are on. Let's freaking go. Before that, I wanted to draft Project Moss. I've been meaning to start the next draft of Project Moss for forever, and I thought this push would be enough to have me finish it before starting Project Glass again. But as I think I talk about in a video that's not out yet, it'll be out after this video, I come to the conclusion that writing series in order, or like working on the next book in a series after I've just worked on the book before it, so it's still freshly in my mind, works best for me. That is the best way for me to stay consistent, or at least more consistent, in the story. And as you guys are probably aware, Project Moss is the second book in the Project What trilogy. So it is a second book, and I haven't touched Project What in forever, almost a year, gross, and trying to jump into Project Moss without having that headspace for Project What was not going to be good. It was not going to be good. I had already tried starting to revise Project Moss, found that I was a little disoriented. Obviously not completely disoriented, because I do know the world, but I wasn't as familiar with it as before. So I shelved revising Project Moss, told myself I was going to do a quick reread of Project What, just to familiarize myself with the story again. I was just going to read it like a normal book. I wasn't going to put any edits in. I was just going to read it. And then I started reading. I got about 8 chapters in, and I finally resigned myself to the feeling that I had the entire time I was reading. That was, I just need to work on this book. While it is in a good state, it's in a pretty good state, being away from it for so long has helped me see more of the issues with it, especially with Act 1 and how it's paced and everything. So in my reread, I had realized that I actually need to work on Project What first, or else that'll itch at me for forever until I'm done with Project Moss, and it just makes sense to work on Project What first, since it's the first book, and then once I'm done with that draft, to move on to Project Moss. That is to say, I am no longer working on Project Glass for the retreat. Rest in peace. I will work on it after the retreat. Instead, I will be working on Project Moss for the retreat, and my prep will be working on Project What. I'll have more videos out detailing that, especially Project What vlogs, because I have missed those so much. Yeah, I had been reading it, and I just realized there's so much here that I could change, or like, that could just be tweaked slightly to make the book better, and just small things that I was just collecting that I didn't want to forget for when I would inevitably start revising and reworking, that I was like, you know what, no. There's so much here that I could do right now. I'm just gonna do it. So my prep right now is Project What. I'm revising. Right now, my trajectory, what I expect to happen is that most things in this draft don't need to be changed on a large scale. There's definitely some line editing that needs to be done, and some slight replotting, some ways that we introduce certain parts of the plot that need to be redone, but overall, not much is gonna have to be rewritten. So the goal now is to revise Project What, rework the stuff that I find in October and November. That's what I want to do. October, November, revise, figure out what I need to change it, and then I'll have a draft 4? Kind of. I don't know if I'm going to call it a new draft because I'm not actually writing anything, but it is a new version of the story. A new version. So, maybe. But that's the goal. That sounds crazy saying out loud, but that's fine. So October, November, Project What? Then December, January, all Project Moss. I'm hoping maybe while I'm working on Project What in November, I can start on Project Moss, but I don't know. That might not be possible. I don't expect it to be, but it would be cool if it is. Anyways, that's the new goals. That's what's happening. And because of that, I am now carrying around the actual book of Project What and my revision tools, and that meant I had to get a bigger bag because that little shoulder bag that I have, while it fit all my school stuff perfectly and it was great, now that I am not writing on my laptop, I'm writing in a book, I need more space, and I got this cute little backpack. It's in my chair. I don't know if I can, it's not really little, but I got this guy, super cute. It's got this nice little flappy guy, so I can fit more in here if need be, but for right now, I mean, I have all the stuff I need for school and for Project What in here right now, and it still looks nice and tiny, or, you know, not overfilled.
Really quickly, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to the company that makes this bag, MAH. They sent this bag to me a couple weeks ago, and I have been using it nonstop since. It literally came in at the perfect time, like I already said. It fits everything I need and more, honestly, without looking bulky, and it remains like nice and minimalist, nice and stylish, even when it's like 20 pounds. Maybe not 20 pounds, but you know, all the way full, packed to the brim. I've been taking it to class, I've been taking it to coffee shops. It is just a great backpack. I would definitely recommend checking them out, and definitely check my description for some more details.
She has been serving me right while I've been starting the revision of this book. I'm not insanely far. I'm still in chapter 1 as we speak right now. But anyways, that is my insanely long intro. I'm going to be late for class, so let's go.
All right, voiceover me is back to take over for most of the rest of this video. Like I said in the intro already, I only have 2 in-person classes on Wednesdays. I only have 2 in-person classes most of the week because I'm only taking 3 classes right now. But my first one at 9 o'clock in the morning, don't know who decided that, me, but we don't have to talk about that, is physics. It's a physics lecture. So fun to wake up to. But anyways, lectures are only an hour long. Right after, I literally just sit outside of the physics building and study and work until my next class, which is exactly what I did today. Today, in particular, was a lot of reading. I'm currently taking an elective course about Buddhism because I thought that was interesting, and there's a lot of reading in that class, so for the most part I was just trying to get that done for the week. And also, physics is also very reading heavy. That textbook seems to literally never end. Anyways, after a little bit more work, trying to start my physics work and low-key giving up, I switched to start working on Project What because it was staring at me and I really wanted to actually get into the revision for real, which it has been a little slow, but I'm trying to catch everything. I know that's not possible, like physically, but I'm trying to catch as much as I possibly can. So I'm going through each line, I'm making sure everything makes sense, I'm making sure everything's accurate, there's no like plot holes, no matter how minor. I did find one where one of the main characters talks to a woman at the beginning of the scene, and then when I reference back to that woman, they are now a man. That didn't work. Had to fix that. But after that, and talking to a classmate for a little bit, it was time to go. It was time to go to my next class. I actually ended up almost being late for this class because I left that table too late, and my second class is across campus, so I had to rush a little bit. That's fine. A little humbling, but that's okay. We made it on time. And that class is my computer science class. I feel like I've said this in videos before too, but this class is like cooking me. I've never felt more dumb in my life. It's okay. After 50 minutes, I was free. We were free from those shackles. And I began my lovely 20-minute walk back home. It's great, especially in this heat that doesn't seem to want to go away, ever. It's not gonna go away. It's gonna be December and it's still gonna be 100 degrees outside. I am sure of it.
Hello gamers, we are home, we are fed, and it's time to live the rest of the day. We are going to the coffee shop to get some good work done. I've got computer science stuff I need to do, I've got physics I need to do, and I also want to revise a little in Project What, because I've gotten one chapter done today. Awesome. I want to pick up the pace in order to actually hit my retreat goals. School comes first. If I have time, I will do the revision, but I'm only gonna spend like a couple hours in the coffee shop, so I don't know, we'll see. We're back. It's almost 6 p.m. now. I spent a little bit longer at the coffee shop than I thought I would, but that's fine. Let's see, what did I do? I didn't finish either of the things I wanted to get done at the coffee shop. First, computer science. Completely lost in that class. Don't know what's happening in there. I'll have to look at that later, but I didn't want to look at it then, so I did about a quarter of the assignment and gave up and moved on to physics. In physics, I was supposed to read an entire chapter and highlight it and annotate it. Didn't do that. I got like 2 sections into the chapter before calling it quits because the audiobook of one section of the chapter was 45 minutes long, and that's when I threw in the towel. I was like, we're done, actually. I don't want to do this. So after fumbling through a quarter of my computer science assignment and about probably also a quarter of my chapter that I need to read for physics, I moved on to Project What. I was like, I deserve this. I'm gonna work on Project What. And I did about another chapter, I think. Maybe half a chapter. I don't even know. So cute. This thing is gonna be destroyed by the end of this, but that's fine. I'm trying to make it look like just a mess, frankly. There's a lot of color. There's a lot of stickers. There's a lot of underlining. I want it to be almost like an art piece within itself. Maybe that's pretentious, but I want it to look cool. Like, look at this page. I think this page is so fun. Look at this. How silly. But I want it to be like visually interesting. Just cause. Not really for any particular reason. I just want it to be silly. But that's what I did. And now I'm home. And frankly, right now, my apartment's a disaster. And today was way hotter than I expected, and I am a sweaty mess from just walking around all day. So I need to go take a shower. I need to clean myself, and then we need to clean the apartment. We're gonna do just a little bit of an interlude to get things back in order. First, I am gonna go shower. So my hair can dry before I go to sleep, or else I'm gonna wake up looking like an idiot. Okay, I'm back. I am halfway through doing my dishes. Don't hit me up. But I made dinner. Dinner is 3.5 egg rolls. Let's freaking go. I'm gonna eat this first, and then we'll get back to doing that. Don't look at it. It's fine. That took way longer than I wanted it to, but it's done. It also took way longer because I took a giant TikTok break, but don't talk to me about that. The dishes are done. Sink is clean. Everything is so stacked on top of each other, I'm a little scared, but it's fine. Everything's fine. My hair is drying kind of weird, but it is now 10 p.m., 10:04 p.m. to be specific, and I think I'm just gonna work on Project What until I go to sleep tonight. I'm going to sleep kind of early because I have to be up early tomorrow, but I want to see what I can do with this. Maybe get another chapter or two done, since I've only done like a chapter or like a chapter and a half today. I want to just do a little more, just a wee bit. Right now, it's not been bad. It's been quite fun. A lot of the prose, a lot of the like actual wording, prose, has not been the best. I definitely thought it was better before starting a reread, but that's what nearly a year of distance will do for you, I think. It really puts this into perspective, I would say, and I think that's what I needed, because it's really showing me how Act 1 still needs some work, and that makes me kind of scared for the rest of the book, because Act 1 has always been the problem child of this book, and I was quite satisfied with Act 2 and 3. Maybe not Act 3, but Act 2, when I finished drafting this, I thought it was pretty solid. So I don't know what I'm going to think now, but I have like 8 chapters until I get to Act 2, so I'll worry about that later. For now, I'm just gonna try and chip away at Act 1. I'll see y'all on the other side.
Hello. Voice over me is back really quickly because I realized I did not film an outro for this video. My apologies. I filmed this video literally like 2 days ago as of editing this. I already don't remember how I finished off that night. I actually think I finished the chapter I was working on. I think I was working on chapter 2, and I finished chapter 2. That's so bad that I can't remember it. I don't even know. But that was a sort of day in my life kind of video. I like doing the little day in my life videos where I just film little snippets of every day. So if you guys also enjoy them, please let me know. I would be down to do more. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.